I remember when we used to sit in the government yard in Trenchtown.
Welcome back to What's the 411. My name is Amelia Moore, and today we have some history makers in our own right, in their own right. Today we have WORL-A-GIRL, Chaos Records, Columbia Records recording artists. Welcome, ladies. How are you today?
We're fine, thanks.
Now, different parts of the world. What part of the world is everyone from?
Well,
okay.
Starting from Sabrina from Trinidad.
I'm Charmaine from St. Andrew, Jamaica.
It's Linda from Brooklyn, New York.
And Sensi from London, England. Great.
And this is WORL-A-GIRL!
Hello everybody, you're welcome back again to the Reggae Appreciation Society. The 1990s are widely regarded as very peak of musical creativity and the music business itself. It certainly marked the golden era of dancehall and was the epoch when that subgenre of reggae truly crossed over into the global mainstream. The US was the main epicenter of that cultural revolution that saw all the major record labels scrambling to find the next Shabarangs or Supercats, and certain places in America with vibrant Caribbean immigrant communities would birth a fusion of reggae and hip-hop. That scene saw the rise of the likes of amazing groups like the Jamericans and the Wonder Boy from Flatbush in the exciting Little Vicious. And one of my favorites from that scene, incidentally also from New York, were four bright-eyed and lovely young ladies, also with Caribbean heritage, that the world came to know as WORL-A-GIRL. Blessed with charming personalities, amazing stage presence, and unbelievably beautiful voices, capable of creating breathtaking harmonies, they were described as the reggae version of 90s super R&B group SWV. They first came to my attention when I heard their song in this scene from the 1993 movie Cool Runnings.
Some people say them can't believe Jamaica, we have a bobsled team, we have Wonder East, and no one Junior. You Sanka, the fastest of Jamaican sprinters. Go to Olympics, fight for Jamaica.
The runaway success of that film catapulted them to overnight popularity and won over a huge fan base, as their music would blow into heavy rotation on radio and cable TV stations like BET. Though the 90s had many acts that created great crossover reggae-centric sound, I dare say that no other unit would fuse dancehall, reggae and hip-hop quite as flawlessly as these ladies. They had all the tools to dominate for a long time to come, but in the most mysterious of circumstances, they suddenly dropped out of the limelight, prompting us to ask the question, whatever happened to WORL-A-GIRL? Now this story begins in 1991 at a now legendary nightclub in downtown Manhattan, New York that was called Sounds of Brazil, that specialized in music for the Afro-Latino diaspora and featured both new and young artists playing diverse music from Latin to Caribbean sounds, and was celebrated as the place where legends were made and the launchpad for many eventual greats. It was there 35 years ago that four daughters of Caribbean immigrants named Charmaine Da Costa, Sabrina Cohen, Angela Sensi Williams, and Linda Scott hit the stage one night after endless rehearsals and blew everyone away. They became regular performers and soon made a name for themselves, all thanks to their awesome singing, flawless toasting, and massive stage presence, and soon caught the attention of David Kana, the A&R boss at Columbia and the main man at Chaos Records, then a new subsidiary of Sony Music, that signed them up in 1992. It wasn't their first time as recording artists, mind you, as they had released their first single, Chemist in Addis, the year before with almost no impact. But now with a big record label behind them, they had a huge platform to build on. Chaos Records would spend months honing their craft to perfection when the perfect chance to show the world what they were made of would come. Walt Disney Pictures had been working on a sports comedy movie called Cool Runnings, based on the unlikely true story of Jamaica's bobsledding team that took part at the Calgary Winter Olympics in 1988. Chaos Records got the job to put that soundtrack together, and WORL-A-GIRL were put in the studio to make what became the most iconic song in that movie in the infectious Jamaican bobsledding chant. The movie and its feel-good energy became a big hit worldwide that grossed over $150 million at the box office, and the soundtrack also sold well, moving about 500,000 records. Though Jimmy Cliff's I Can See Clearly Now became a big hit as a single, WORL-A-GIRL's song was the sonic identity of the whole movie, and it sent the girls soaring into global acclaim. Chaos Records, looking to cash in literally, would take them into the studio to record the songs that made up their self-titled debut album that came out in 1994 to very strong critical acclaim. It spawned the anti-gun anthem No Gunshot that showed that the girls could hold their own in what was a super competitive and gritty dancehall scene. This single in particular became very popular on dance floors, plus heavy rotation on the airwaves, and the girls went on tour of America to promote the entire album. Incidentally, their debut also became a hit in Africa, and they toured the motherland extensively. In that same year, they would score another big hit that was also a dance floor filler in Murder She Wrote, a female response to the smash hit Murder She Wrote by Shaka Demus and Pliers. But one of their biggest hits in those times came out a year later in 1995, a cover of the Bob Marley and the Wailers classic In No Woman No Cry, an unforgettable rendition with the ladies' beautiful harmonies that I'm sure Bob Marley would have been very proud of. Everything was awesome and falling into place when founding member Charmaine Da Costa quit the group to pursue a solo career as a gospel artist in 1995. A terrible blow that shook that group to its foundations, but they brought in Jamaican singer Juliet Nelson, who would slot in quite nicely as a replacement, as they went into the studio to record their next album, Party, that came out in 1997. By all means, a great compilation, but very far from the impact of their debut. It didn't matter much though, as they were then in high demand by hordes of producers, plenty of whom were back in Jamaica, and they would in that period record songs with artists like Freddie McGregor, Beanie Man, and Gregory Isaacs. But as the 90s came to a close, the ladies had all started families, and as their babies began to come, they found themselves dedicating less energy to their music and more to the home front. And by the year 2000, taking care of their partners and nurturing their children became the #1 priorities, and they all decided to call it a day, and WORL-A-GIRL disbanded officially in the year 2000. But despite not being in a group together anymore, they all stayed close and became family friends, as they all embarked on solo endeavors. But mind you, they didn't exactly leave music, as they all kept writing songs and doing session work in the studio as vocalists. But over time, the pressure from their old fans, as well as the irresistible pull of music, would inspire them to make a comeback in 2022 with a song called Lala. And ever since, they've continued to make appearances at reggae festivals and concerts every now and then, and they still have the spark, still sizzling with charisma and energy, not to mention lovely voices, and most important, the sisterly love that is truly the secret weapon and the real glue that's kept them closer than sisters for almost 40 years. They definitely deserve more success than they enjoyed. But one thing is for certain, and that is that whenever we think back and talk about the amazing dancehall fusion acts of the 90s, the amazing WORL-A-GIRL will always be in the conversation. So there you have it. Thank you for watching this video today. Please leave a like, subscribe, and until next time, Jah bless.